Thank y'all for tuning in again to D Business Podcast. I appreciate y'all so much for tuning in each week, whenever I drop, whatever time. I appreciate y'all so much. All my subscribers, anybody that shares or supports me, thank y'all so much. Stay tuned for each episode. I do have some exciting things in store for you guys, and so I'm excited about that. And tonight's episode is going to be titled Staying Focused on Your Path. So that's going to be the title of tonight's episode. And so what I'm going to talk about is just a few things that help you stay focused on your path and not get all twisted up and wound up and on somebody else's path, on another road. So we don't want to do that. So this is going to be an episode talking about that. So the first thing that we need to do, and that I do, and everything that I talk about, again, it's my opinion, and I always say that. And these are things that I've also worked on myself, and these are things that I'm constantly working on myself. So when I'm speaking to you guys, I'm also speaking to myself as well. So please take that into consideration. And so the first thing we're going to talk about is make sure that you know what your talents and your strengths are. So that really goes a long ways when it comes to being able to stay on your path, because you want to know what you're talented at, what your strengths are, sometimes what your weaknesses are. Because a lot of times staying on your path, you can stay motivated to really stay focused on your path and know what you're doing if you know exactly what you're actually focusing on. So there are things and strengths and weaknesses that we learn that we have starting at a young age, starting at, even when we were kids, when we were babies, growing up into our adulthood, that we knew that certain things that we were good at, certain things that we really were able to excel in. And so those things, if we focus on those would be great things to keep us focused on our own path and not worry about, veering off and getting off of what it is that is our purpose in life. So that's one thing that we should do. And as long as, and really being able to figure out what are your talents and what are your strengths, that really will cut down some time as far as you trying to find yourself in life. Because a lot of times we'll run around in circles trying to figure out what it is that we are good at, what it is that we are wanting to do, what it is that we feel like is our destiny or what we're here for. And a lot of times you could already, kind of pinpoint that, because those are things that you learn at young ages, and you just kind of build up those strengths throughout life. And if you pay attention, a lot of times people will tell you, oh, you're good at that, or yeah, that comes, and you'll think about it like, yeah, that comes to me easily. So those are certain things that you can just focus on, those talents and those strengths, and build those up and keep working on those, and that'll help you stay on your path. Another thing is, do not focus on other people's paths, what other people have going on. And a lot of times, especially in this day and age, it's super hard to stay focused on our own paths and what we have going on, because there's social media, there's constantly TV, there's television, there's so many things thrown in our faces, showing us what we should do and where we should go and how we should be. And being an individual and having your own personality is something that can sometimes seem like it's lame, and they try to make it look like it's lame, but it's not, because we all should have our own personalities. We all have our own paths and things that we want to do in life. And just because somebody is moving a certain way or doing a certain thing, or what they're doing in life, does not mean that that's the same way that you're supposed to live your life, or the same thing that you're supposed to do in your life. It may not work for you. The same way that we may be taking a trip, right, to a certain place, trying to get to a certain destination. And there are probably sometimes 3 or 4 ways. There's back roads, there's a main highway, there's different directions that we can take, but we can all get to the same destination. And so that's the same way when it comes to our personal paths in life and what is our personal destiny and what we're supposed to do. We don't all have the same way and the same, we all won't go about it the same way. We all won't have the same roadmap. There's different ways to attain it. So don't always look at social media or even around to different people around you and think, you know, they're doing it a certain way, so I have to do it a certain way. There is no certain way to do anything. And a lot of times you have to tailor certain things towards yourself, because if you try to do it some other person's way, that may be their path. And if it's not yours, then it won't even work out the same for you. So sometimes you can mess up by trying to look at others and trying to do things the same way, and it won't even work out the same way for you, because that was not meant for you in the first place. So another way to stay on your path is stay motivated. Motivate yourself. Motivate yourself when you find out what you want to do and the things that you want to do in life and what you're destined to do. Make sure this is something I've always done. I love watching YouTube videos, positive, affirmations, things that motivate me in the mornings. I love writing down just anything that I see that interests me, as far as like if I, with my path in life and things that I want to do for myself. I love writing those things down and kind of looking at them throughout the day. But that's a big one for me. Watching now TikTok is big. That's a big place for me and a platform for me to look at and get information and learn new things. So a lot of times staying on your path means always kind of staying motivated and learning and growing and keep going on that path, because it's not going to always be easy. There's always going to be different obstacles in the way. Just like I was saying earlier, when you're going on a destination or when you're taking a trip, there may be roadblocks, there may be wrecks, there may be different things along the way, but you're still going to get there. It just may not be the way that you thought when you first took off and started the journey. So that's something to think about too. Gotta keep yourself motivated. You gotta figure out some way to stay motivated along your path so you can get there. And then another thing is, don't let other people's negative thoughts or their perceptions of you and what you want to do stop you. So we know in this life there are so many people that have different opinions, and we're all welcome to them, because as you can see, I am giving y'all my opinions week after week on here, and I always say that these are my opinions, so you don't have to agree with me. You can comment below and let me know what you think. So if we all have opinions, and different people have opinions, and they might say things along the way as you're trying to accomplish things and as you're doing new things. And sometimes we think outside the box. We don't think like not one person thinks alike when it comes to every single thing in life. And well, you know what? Some people do think alike. Like, I'm sure. I say that, but I'm sure some people do think alike. But I'm sure not every single thing, you're going to think alike on every single point, every single aspect of life. So we all have differences of opinions, and you just can't let sometimes the differences of opinions stop you from your path and what you want to do and what you know is what you are destined to do in life. And so don't listen to the outside noise, especially when you know that you're on the right path and you're going the right way and you're going in the right direction, because a lot of times we'll let nobody knows what it's like to be you. Nobody knows what your gifts and what your talents, they might have seen what your gifts and talents are, but nobody possesses that. Nobody possesses the gifts and talents that you have other than you. And nobody possesses it that exact way, the way that you possess it. So you have to really hold on to that. Even if somebody else cannot see it, even if somebody else cannot understand it, you know what it is. And that is the greatness inside of you. So you have to look at the greatness inside of you, and no matter what anybody else says, you have to go with that and keep that feeling that you have about your path in life and what you want to do, and keep that feeling inside of yourself. You don't have to take on what somebody else throws at you and put that and hold on to those feelings, because that is not you. That is not what you are about, and that is not what you're made of. So though, staying positive, even when people are negative, even when you're trying to go, you're trying to do things and get things done, that's always going to be a part of life. And I realized that even when I was so, young, years ago, I realized that the main times when I was focusing on things and trying to get things done, that's the main time that obstacles always came in my way, and people were saying this and that, especially when you're trying to be better. But you just gotta kind of block all that out, because if you know who you are and you know that you're working hard to stay on your path and get to where you need to be, that's all you need to worry about, and that's what you need to focus on, getting to the end of your destination. And on top of that, what I want to say is what I mentioned earlier, nobody's path is the same. So your path, it doesn't have to be any certain path either. It doesn't have to be any certain goal, or you could be like, okay, this year I want to pay off certain things, or I want to buy get a big purchase, and that's my path, and that's what I'm doing right now, or so I can move, or you might want to move to another place so you can focus more on your career and get closer to your path. They're small, everybody's path is different, as I said before, and so nobody is working on the same thing. And that's why you can't let what people say bother you, because nobody is doing the same thing and nobody has the same goals. So so those are the main things that I want to speak about. And lastly, make sure that you always celebrate yourself. Celebrate yourself. Even when you make small steps along your path and what you're planning to do, even when you make small little wins, the small wins, appreciate every single thing that comes into your life. Every single time that you accomplish something that you wanted to accomplish, you have to celebrate that, because that also keeps you going towards your path and along your path, because celebrating yourself and just being proud of yourself along the way keeps you going, because there's nobody that's gonna be more proud of yourself than you. And I said that before. You can be your own biggest cheerleader. You can be your own worst enemy. You can talk yourself you can talk yourself into turning around and never going down that path and never getting to where you need to be. Or you can also talk yourself into not letting anything stop you and keep going no matter what. You have that power, nobody else. So always remember that, guys. And so this episode was just it was a pick me up for me. I hope y'all got, if you got something from that, please comment below and let me know. But this was a pick me up for me, because I needed this just as much as you. I'm talking to myself, guys, right along with y'all. So I appreciate y'all for watching, and don't forget, I am a children's book author as well. So I do have my books on sale always. Dad Does Positive Things, that's on sale right now. And I also have a Christmas book, Dad Gets Ready for Christmas, that's on sale. I always have those both on sale whenever y'all want to buy them. And then I'm also working on another book. It's going to be a puzzle book, interactive book. I'm super excited about that. That's coming soon. And also, guys, I'm working on relaunching I had a body mist, like a body spray, and it's perfect for like the summertime and when you're out in the summer. So I'm working on relaunching that. So yeah, stay tuned for that. And yeah, guys, I just appreciate y'all. Just stay on your path and stay happy, stay positive, do something for you, and make sure that whatever you do, make sure it's moving you towards a more happy and positive life, and just keeping you in a great mindset, because life is too short and we don't know, we never know what's going to happen from day to day. So we got to stay in a positive and good mind state. So I appreciate y'all again, and stay in the next couple episodes. I do have some heavy stuff coming up the next episode, and I really want y'all to tune in. But it's much needed, but it is a little bit heavy. And the next 2 episodes, actually, the next episode is gonna be a little heavy, but the one after that's gonna be funny, so it's gonna be fun. But yeah, y'all stay tuned, and I appreciate y'all, and I hope y'all have a great day, a great night, and just a great weekend. Bye.